Hi, it's Luke from Up Here. I want to share something with you about habits that I've learned that might be helpful to you. So we understand habits to be simply a process that's predictable that happens in our daily lives. In order to work with our habits, we need to understand them. And research tells us that when we understand the process of habits and how they work, we're more likely to be able to unpack them and improve them for ourselves. We often think that our habits are going to be negative things that we want to get rid of in our lives, but in fact, we can make really healthy habits so that our habits are actually helpful to us in our lives rather than hindering us in our lives. So I want to share with you the habit loop, which shows us like the anatomy of a habit and really breaks it down for us. And here we have cue, routine, and reward as the three parts of a habit. The cue is the thing that triggers a behavior that really starts it off. The routine is the behavior, the thing that we actually do. So when we're triggered, what is that behavior we actually carry out? And finally, the reward. What do we get out of it? What's so good? If it's eating chocolate, we get a bit of a kick from that. If it's having a coffee, if it's exercise, if it's doing some study or practicing some sport, we get a benefit of that, and we call that the reward. So we understand those three parts of a habit, and we can break it down to actually improve those habits and create good habits that we want. An example could be someone that wants to get good at an instrument. Let's say a 14-year-old girl wants to practice the violin, and they want to get good at it, and they're just not sure how to make practicing the violin a habit. What we can do is we can use cue, routine, and reward to our advantage. So we need to understand that the thing that we want to do, the practicing the violin, is the routine. This could be footy practice, it could be eating well, it could be sleep, whatever it is for you, that could be the routine or the behavior we want to do. We might want to do that for 30 minutes each day we want to practice the violin. We need to decide what a trigger or a cue would be for that behavior. And so in this instance, it could be that every afternoon when this 14-year-old girl gets home from school and she has her afternoon tea, once afternoon tea is done, she jumps up and goes straight and practices the violin for 30 minutes. So the trigger is finishing afternoon tea, the behavior is playing the violin for 30 minutes, and the reward is getting better at the violin. The benefit of this process is that we don't need to think about when it's the right time to do it. We just know that when I'm finished afternoon tea, then I will go and practice, and then I will get the reward, which is getting better at that thing. So use the cue, routine, reward process in order to make your habits a little bit easier to do by attaching the behavior to the trigger in order to get the reward. So I wish you all the best with that, and hope you can create some great habits for yourself.